work for a company called Guided Ventures Group. It is my own organization, and I have some collaboration partners that I work with, including a lot of the folks here, actually. But I was in corporate for 25 years. I was head of strategic planning at U.S. Bank for Elevon. I worked for Total Systems and Global Payments, doing learning and development. So I have a huge history of corporate business experience, but in the last 5 years, I use that to help in change management and executive coaching.
Great. So tell us a little bit about the clients that you're working with. Are these primarily C-level, or tell us a little bit about...
a lot of them are C-level, but what I'm finding is that a lot of my C-level clients are asking me to work with their VPs and SVPs because they're struggling, especially during the pandemic. So I was doing a lot of strategic consulting around strategic planning, aligning leadership, that kind of thing. But when the pandemic hit, a lot of them said, hey, look, our problem is less about strategic planning right now. It's more about how do we take care of our people at home? How do we help our leaders to be great remote leaders? They don't know how to do it. So I did a lot of pivoting because that's what they needed.
That's great. Yeah. So what are you, like, when you're thinking about that, like, kind of engaging the remote teams, what are some of the best practices that you've seen work, if you want to offer up a couple that you've seen work really well?
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, leadership is leadership. I mean, that's really, whether people are remote or people are in the offices, it's about being really intentional and purposeful, which is why I love what we're talking about today. But being really intentional and purposeful about how you have conversations, about how you lead. It's deciding what is your identity as a leader. How do you want to show up for your people? Every conversation is a culture-setting conversation. Every time you open your mouth, every time you listen or fail to listen, you are setting culture. And so thinking about those one-on-ones, thinking about those group communications, thinking about the way you show up is super important. So when you take that and you take it into a remote environment, saying, how is it that I need to show up in a way that's going to be supportive and caring? And we all know that quotes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
That's great.
And thinking about, and as a leader, taking 5 minutes to say, all right, I'm about to have a really challenging conflict conversation, a performance management expectations conversation, a supportive motivational conversation, whatever that is, taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes to say, what is it that I want the person on the other end to feel? How do I want them to feel? By the way, what is their kid's name and their dog's name and their, their other personal relationships that I can lead with? What was it we talked about last time that will put them at ease before I go in and say, where's that report?
Yeah,
how
no, that's great.
Create that?
Yeah.
Because you're creating culture there. You're saying, I care about you, not your results.
That's right.